It's never been more dangerous to trade cryptocurrency than it is right now. Yes, there's some huge profits to be made, but there's also some massive losses to be incurred, and if you make these decisions based on the psychology, then you are destined to fail. So guys, hit the like button and let's dive into this video. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about scams, and I need you to stick with me for the next 6 or 7 minutes because it can potentially save you thousands of dollars. One guy in my Discord yesterday told me that he had just lost $15,000, and he's a very smart guy. So don't just think that this happens to some people and it won't happen to me, because it's happened to me and it will probably happen to you if you're not careful. Now, first of all, we need to understand why scams happen in the first place. How do we get caught out? Because after we've been scammed, we always think to ourselves, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And there's a reason for it. Like everything, guys, there's a reason behind it all, and it's called optimism bias. The optimism bias refers to our tendency to overestimate the likelihood of experiencing a positive event and underestimate our likelihood of experiencing a negative event, which is why when some scammer presents you that is something that's too good to be true, most of the time we will tend to fall for it, despite knowing afterwards or having a bit of an inkling inside of us that it's too good to be true. We just can't help ourselves because we are looking at the potential for the good thing to come about. So many of these scams will tell you that they can give you 2% a day or 3% every single day. And if you're like, well, if I put in $1,000, that's like $30 every single day, which is like $900 a month. And then over a year, I might make over $10,000 just by putting it in here. Absolutely amazing. But then you're like, well, where's the money going to come from? And after you've already done that and you've put the money in, you start to have questions about it. But by then, it's too late. And what I'm talking about, I talked about before in this video, which I made 4 months ago, about something called Harvest Keeper. And it's very difficult to identify these guys because you might go and look at YouTube for advice, and then you see that there's a bunch of guys here who would just happily promote scammers, okay? So be very, very cautious. And it's not just degenerate YouTubers who are going to make these videos, but even Bloomberg was promoting Harvest Keeper. So it's very scary and it's a very dangerous place out there. But there is a few tools that you can use to identify whether or not something is worth investing in. Now, the first tool I'm going to show you, which is a really handy tool called dexcheck.ai, okay? And this is a free tool, and you just have to click on Enter App. And here you can search for a token that you are potentially interested in. Maybe someone comes out of the blue and says, I've been buying like Pepe2, what do you think of that, okay? And then you can come down through the list. I'm just going to choose one at the random that we see here. Now, DexCheck gives me a few different things. It tells me that this pair has just been created in the last 24 hours. Come down below, you can see that the ownership has not been renounced, so it's still being owned by someone. It's not necessarily a major problem because the rest of it seems to check out. What I can then do is come across to bubblemaps.io and put in the token name. So you can see here, I've got Gang, and then it's going to give me this map looking a bit weird like this. Each of these is a wallet, and if you click on each of these, it will tell you how much of a percentage they hold. And clicking on these other ones, what we're seeing is that this actually isn't terrible, but these, where they're all connected together, can lead to rug pulls, okay? So if you were to see all of these bubbles connected together, then you'll know that it's basically a rug pull because all of these wallets are showing that there's been interactions between each of them, okay? So the interactions between each of these show that these are related wallets. So this is another very cool free tool that you can just see how decentralized a particular token is. But it's not just down to tokens being rug pulls. There's other problems and other issues out there. Every day on my videos, I notice coming down in the comments that there are tons of people saying, love your content, and then 12 different replies telling you to go and hit up someone on Telegram and they're going to invest and make millions for you. Now, this is a fairly obvious scam if you've been in crypto for a while, but many people haven't. Be very careful. There's absolutely no reason why anyone would be sharing content or a link within your description, okay? So why would you go and click on that link? Don't go anywhere near those links. There's also another big problem, is that you see someone leaves a comment here, and then down below you've got someone pretending to be me, putting in like, thanks, endeavor to reach out on WhatsApp buddy with the number. Obviously, I'm English, like I can actually write English, so this is a bit of a shocker. But then, it could look at a glance like it is me, okay? So what's very interesting, but how would I tell it's me rather than someone else if you were commenting on my video and you saw a response? Well, so I just wrote a comment there. You can see, thanks bro, and then you can see my name is grayed out, and you can see that it has the subscriber count after it, whereas none of these other ones do. So that's very important. You can notice that, and that's a great way to identify who the owner of the channel is, if they're responding to you or not. Now, what other scams are out there? Well, there's multiple, and they are all very tricky and difficult. But there would always be a few simple rules before you involve yourself with any project. Is the project transparent? Can I see who the team members are? So this is Tenet, which is a legitimate, very good quality product. Again, you can come down below, you can see each of the people here. And then when you come through and you see who these people are, then you can go and take their names, you can go across to LinkedIn, and then you can go and find these individuals backed up about which projects they worked at. Now, sometimes the people shown on scam websites are real people, but they have no association with that project. So if you go and search for Josh Neuroth over on LinkedIn and it doesn't mention anything about Tenet, then there's more than likely a chance that that website you're looking at is a scam. Tenet is not a scam, by the way. It's a really good, top quality project. The next thing you should never be doing is sharing your seed phrase with anyone or anything. That means that when you see something to sign up for a wallet or something like that, and it's asking your seed phrase for like MetaMask, 100% shouldn't be doing that, okay? And it might seem like a simple mistake and you do it very quickly, that can be a stinger as well. Another one that I've seen in the past with NFTs, and I myself did this, was I was waiting to buy an NFT, and then suddenly I found a link for another website that looked very, very similar on Twitter, and it said I could mint that NFT now. So I rushed in and spent my $300 on an NFT, and then never saw that money again. But what lets everyone down, and it doesn't really matter about the type of the scam, but it's you going with that optimism bias, right? If something's too good to be true, it makes us kind of feel excited and whatever. You need to pause and come back, okay? Don't rush into anything when you're either excited or angry or sad or whatever. Don't make decisions when you're emotional. I mean, that goes for crypto, that goes for life, okay? But in crypto, particularly, FOMO is a very big problem, and don't make decisions based on emotions because you tend to rush in, and that's how people are typically wrecked, okay? And the scammers know this, so they put in FOMO. So they use tactics to make you feel like you're going to miss out if you don't take action now. But just be cautious. There's so much money to be made in crypto right now that you really don't need to be too exotic in what you're looking for. If something seems too good to be true, then don't go for it, okay? Doesn't matter how good it sounds, guys, because there's so many projects that are legit that actually do sound too good to be true, but actually I think you can make that kind of crazy returns. So if you're ever unsure, then get in my free Telegram, which is linked down below, and you can just ask in there. There's so many people on a daily basis asking whether or not this is a scam or that's a scam, and there's so many cool, calm heads in there who know exactly what they're doing and have warned everyone about what scams they've seen. Don't get me wrong, people will still get scammed, and it does sting, but be extra cautious and you should be okay. Guys, if you enjoyed that update today, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe. See you in the next one.